Welcome to More For Me with yours truly, Kat Necole. What up, homie? What's going on? What's good with you this week? I pray that all is well. Things are pretty good this way, if I must say so myself. Who else would say so? It's just me and you. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time joining, thank you for stopping by. If this is not your first time, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Either way, it is a privilege and an honor to have you join me here in the studio for this week's show. So, it's November. Can't believe the year is almost over. But my sister informed me this morning that it was snowing in Michigan. And she dropped that line, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Well, it is. We know in our society today that retail, it just moves really, really fast. And sometimes it makes us uncomfortable because we see Halloween decorations and we see Thanksgiving decorations. We just see fall things and we also see Christmas. And it used to be a time when there would be more space in between those seasons. But now it's just like, hey, everything's for sale. We want you to spend your money. Let's spend. But the reality is the way that it rolls at the end of the year, you have Thanksgiving and the next thing you know, you have Christmas. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, y'all. And so this week, this actually came courtesy of one of my coworkers, but I wanted to share just some thoughts, some nuggets, and this is more in my heavy in my stewardship lane, if you will. But let's not get to the end of this Christmas season for 2021 and have regrets. We don't want to have regrets. We want to be able to look at what we have right now in the present, the options available to us, and make the best decisions, thinking about our present as well as our future, right? So let's not look back at Christmas and have regrets. What do you mean? In what ways could we potentially have regrets? Well, Christmas is a big time where people give gifts. Now, you can give gifts. You cannot give gifts. You can just share quality time. So there are different things that you can do to celebrate the season. I'm not here to guide you how you and your family choose to celebrate, but we know that gift giving is a very large part of Christmas. So I just kind of wanted to talk through and say, what can we do to get ready now? It is fourth quarter, so we are kind of close to Christmas, and arguably, you probably should have done a little bit more preparing. Most budgets, if you will, don't accommodate just in 1 month, just being like, boom, I'm dropping all this dough. So you might want to save up for it. But we are where we are right now. So I want to give you some tips, strategy, if you will, and how you can prepare for this Christmas season in a way that you don't look back. You don't look at your bank account or your credit card statement and you regret what you did prior to that moment. So let's get into this thing here. Start with your why. There's so many things in life that that's just the best way to go, right? Why am I doing said thing? And I think that Christmas is no different. The reason why I encourage you to start with, hey, why am I celebrating Christmas or why am I interested in giving people gifts? If you connect with your reason for why, it can help keep you centered as you go through this season and fight the temptations that the world is going to consistently throw your way, whether it's through commercial and various advertisements and so on, that, hey, spend. But if you know your why and what it is that you're looking to do, what you're looking to accomplish, it's easier to accomplish that thing and not accomplish what someone else wants you to do, which could just be spend a whole lot of money. All right, so next thing, create a realistic budget for your shopping and stick to it. So there's nothing like you ever went to make a purchase, and I've done this before, and someone will ask, hey, what's your budget for this item? They say that because they want to know in which direction to steer you. For example, retail. I remember my younger years going into Best Buy and trying to buy appliances for my first home. It's like, what's your budget? That was my first home. And before then, I had lived in a couple apartments. I'm like, I don't know what my budget should be. I didn't properly prepare before going into that establishment, but I'm like, I don't know. I kind of want to know what I can get and then kind of work backwards. Well, by telling the salesperson what my budget is, then instead of him walking me through their entire appliance section, showing me every single thing that they have, he can narrow his focus and say, okay, within that price point, here are 4 options. Here are 7 options, and you can focus on those instead of their entire line. So having a budget in mind allows for you to kind of focus and guide the rest of your decisions thereafter. It just makes things easier. Excuse me. But the other part about sticking to it. So if you say, I said this budget, you can't be tempted by the pre-Black Friday sale and then be tempted by the Black Friday sale and then accept the temptation of the post-Black Friday sale. Because by that time, you've spent well over what you actually wanted to spend for the Christmas season. The next thing, let's be honest with ourselves about what you can afford. Y'all know it. More for me. Self-reflection is the best reflection. So let me be honest. What can I truly afford to spend? Now, the word afford, some people have different definitions about what it really means to be able to afford a thing. For our sake, we're going to roll with what I'm going to share with you now. And I believe the ability to afford something means that you can pay for it in full in the present moment. So be honest with yourself about what you can afford. If my kid hypothetically wants the new PlayStation, if I can't afford that, then I don't want to put that on the list of things that I'm going to buy. So be honest with yourself about what you can afford. If you find something that's like, man, this is a dope, perfect gift for said person, but it's outside of your budget, then you got to be realistic, go back to the drawing board and rethink that thing. The next thing, create a list, a specific list about what item or items that you are shopping for. So if we have 2 kids, got the husband. All right. So I need a list with at least 3 things on it if I'm getting something for everybody on that list. And I want to be very specific about what it is that I'm looking for, whether or not they gave me a list and I'm picking from that list, or I am just purchasing things that I think that they would enjoy or that I want them to have. Have a list and be specific. Makes me think about, there's a saying that I have found to be true, that you never want to go grocery shopping when you're hungry. The number of things that I will purchase in a grocery store when I'm hungry, it's not a good look. And for me, it normally takes me off my game. For example, I've told y'all before, like I struggle with potato chips sometimes. So if I go to the grocery store hungry, I'm like, oh, you can just grab chips. I don't eat them that often, and I'll just have some chips. But the problem is the type of chips that I allow myself to consume. There's no, small bag that used to cost $0.25 that now may run you 50 cents or more. Like they're big bags. And I might just eat most of that big bag, if not all of it, driving home from said store. So you gotta be able to focus in and make sure that you don't leave the small little holes for yourself to slide on through and then not be able to accomplish what you really were trying to focus on, right? Let me stick to this budget, buy some gifts, and or create an experience, a moment to share with these people I love because I'm celebrating Christmas for said reason. All right. Now, this one, you're like, how does this really apply? It does. Follow me. Be confident about what you decide to go with. You got to be confident about the decision you made. I remember when I stopped giving gifts. Now, there are 5 siblings. My mom has 5 kids, yo. Then some of the kids start producing kids. So I had nieces. And there was one year, I don't remember the exact year, but I just hardcore was like, I'm not giving gifts this year. And everybody's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. I just stopped. I don't want to participate. The thing was, I was very confident in my decision. It's probably the beginning of like my stewardship journey. But I was very confident in my decision. Like, I refuse to participate because you guys want me to, or because of the pressure. I have made a decision. you got to be confident, go with it. If you're not confident about your decision, other people won't buy into it really, right? So if you're doing something different, say you're a person and you're like, I buy everything on the list, no matter what it costs, and I just deal with it later. So if you decide this year I have a specific budget and this is what I'm rolling with, if you're not confident with that, then the people you're giving these gifts to, potentially said kids, they gonna see right through you, like, where the rest of my stuff at? Or like you say, hey, this is what we're doing this year. You describe it like it sucks. They're gonna believe it sucks. Like, hey, this is what we're doing this year. We're gonna get one gift and we're gonna go to this one place. If you're excited about it, they're like, all right, cool, bet we're doing something new. If you're not excited about it, you're like, yeah, I wish I coulda, shoulda, woulda. Then they're gonna look at you like, this sucks. You need to show up with some more gifts, right? So be confident about it so that others can come along that journey. You gotta get on this bus or get off of it. Back to when I stopped giving gifts, there was nothing you could do about it. It's like, this is what it is, and people just accepted it and kind of bought into it, right? And so the siblings are all like, you know what? Why are we still giving each other gifts? We're adults. Like, yeah, let's stop that. And it kind of shifted to like, let's focus on the kids. But instead of buying everybody a gift in this growing family, I was confident, and it led to a shift and a change in how we were addressing Christmas and gift giving as a whole. The last thing that I want to share, this is like a bonus. Christmas comes every year and at the same time. Can you believe that? Literally, it comes every year. So now that we have these nuggets, we literally can plan better. And maybe you create a savings plan or goal to get you towards next Christmas to do whatever it is you have in your heart that aligns with your why you're giving gifts and what you want to give and lavish on the people in your lives. And whether that is just your love or your quality time because you're not giving gifts, or if it's something really cool, something really dope that they asked for, they wanted, either way, it's all good. But let's make sure that we give ourselves time, space, that mental capacity. Like, let's not stress ourselves out about giving someone a gift. It's supposed to be given out of love, generosity, not stress and anxiety and pressure. So let's make sure we plan accordingly next year. When you know better, you do better. I hope that these tips helped and they can help guide you through this busy shopping season. So much so, let me recap them real quick, right? You want to start with your why. Why am I even celebrating Christmas? Why am I trying to give gifts? 2, create a realistic budget and stick to it. 3, be honest about what you can afford. That rolls right into number 4. Create a list of the items that you're shopping for so that you can maintain your focus while you're shopping, whether online or in person. There still can be pressure applied. 5, be confident about what you decide to go with. Whether that's gift giving, not gift giving, giving less, giving more, whatever it is, be confident about what you decide. And that bonus, hey, let's plan accordingly. And remember that Christmas isn't a surprise, and neither our birthdays or anything for that reason. And we can create a little plan to make sure that we show up and give generously like we want to, out of our abundance and not out of lack or anything that leaves us with regret or looking back wishing that we were in a different position. Because that doesn't help us move towards the destination of more that God has for each and every one of us. So that's it for this week. If you have any questions, if you're like, hey, I've never created a budget, I need a little bit more strategy, tell me more about this. There's nuggets in the show notes about how you can connect with me. I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment, leave it in a review, hit me up on social. I welcome it all. I love this stuff and would love to talk more about it if you're willing to listen. Well, that's all for this week, guys. I want you to remember, God has more for me. God has more for you. Now let's get it. Take care.